everybody, this is Adrian with Ascension Soul Coaching. Today is Thursday, January the 5th, 2023. So you all probably have already heard about all the excerpts that have come out about Harry's book, Despair. And it's just to go and show you who the real leaks are. They've leaked everything that's happened in the family, okay, since they've left. Wanted to leave Mexico to the point that leaving Mexico to the point that they're out of Mexico or out of the royal family. They're saying that they're just writing a book and telling a story, but everything is a leak. Now, I don't believe everything that they say is 100%. I think what you got to remember is that narcissists and their flying monkeys and their codependents will tell you, take events and tell you part of what happened and add to it. That is what they do to create doubt and to put out bad information about another person, make you feel like you don't trust the other person, to not trust their story. They lie, they manipulate. Harry's out there now saying that his brother hit him. Now, I'm a Cancer sign. William's a Cancer sign. Diana, I believe, was a Cancer sign. We people, it takes a lot for us to get upset. We're more nurturers. But when things go wrong and we try to right them and people aren't listening, we do get upset. But we mostly get upset when you come at us. So I'm not a person that's going to fight you because you won't listen. But if you come at me, you say stuff about me, and you push me into a limit, I might react. That's who I am. That's what Cancers do. We're nurturers. We don't believe in hitting people and beating up people. That's not our goal. That's not our drive. But I mean, yes, can we get to a point where we're gonna protect ourselves? Yes. That's the sign of a crab. We have a hard shell. We take a lot of abuse, but there's a soft side inside of us as well. Okay. So, do I believe William hit Harry? Possibility he did, because Harry said something. Because Harry is the hot-headed one. He's the hot-headed one with the temper. That's all. Everybody already knows this. So we know what his temperament is like from the past. So this is nothing new. So he probably provoked his brother to a point where if he did hit him, he was provoked. I'm not saying that I agree with violence. If that happened, I'm just saying that's what happens with a Cancer. Cancer has to be pushed to a certain point. He didn't just go in there and beat his brother up or hit his brother. And you can't tell me that Harry didn't hit back and didn't fight back if it was a fight. And he probably provoked the fight. Because he's so up in Megan's butt that he can't see and smell anything else but her butt. Now, as far as the leaks, who do you think leaked the book excerpts to the Guardian News and to other media circuits? Who? You think that the royal family leaked that? No, they didn't leak it. Harry's group leaked it because they want sympathy. They want people to be involved and engaged in the story and say, oh, like I told you before, they're going to leak stuff and they're going to add stuff to it to make it more grandiose, make it more sensational, because something that may have happened, like again, something that may have happened, they're going to make it more, they're going to add more, they're going to amp it up so it can seem like it's more than what it was, and they're not going to tell you the whole story, if it happened, okay? If it even happened. So, this should show y'all who the freaking leakers are. Meghan and Harry. That's what they do. They have to keep drama. They have to stay relevant. They have to keep the name in the news. People were starting to joke Harry, and they knew they were going to get a lot of backlash on this book because they got a lot of backlash on the Netflix docuseries. And so now, so that y'all can get engaged in it, they did the few drops of the teasers of the interviews that they're going to be, that Harry's doing, which is normal. But then the leak of what's in the book is to get y'all engaged again, because y'all want to see drama. They know that that's human behavior. So they know that and they're playing on it. We are being played by them with our emotions, making us more divisive between each other, like black people and other people, the BLMers, are saying that this is a racist issue. Look how many times in that docuseries over the past few weeks, they've put out people on the news and in the media to say that everything about Meghan that people don't like is because it's racism.
First point, okay? So the commercialization of the rift within the royal family is a byproduct, okay? A byproduct of the institution's failure to be anti-racist and cooperative.
The betrayal was that Harry walked away. He was born to a life of privilege, but a life of duty as well. He did. And he walked away from it.
He
walked away from it.
Should I tell you why he walked away? Because it took marrying a biracial woman for him to realise how racist the institution he was in.
They're not only saying that the royal family are not letting them have their way because of racism. They're saying the media don't like them because of racism. They're saying the British people don't like them because of racism. And if you're American, if you don't like them, it's because of racism. I mean, but let me tell you where all this stems from. I mean, yeah, there were stories in the beginning. There was a few stories about Meghan that shouldn't have been done in the beginning when she started dating him. But then you didn't hear about that anymore. But other than that, other than individual tweets, I don't know, I haven't seen any that was very racist towards her. But other than that, the only two things that they can come up with is that somebody asked, what color will the baby be? And two, the lady Sarah asking Miss Filani, where is she really from? Are those the only two examples of all these years that the royal family could have anybody within the organization that's racist? That's the only proof you have? See what I'm saying? And then they come out, and then you got these people who don't even know the royal family, not even involved in the royal family, but only on the media circuit to say it's racist because they're part of the BLM and the UN agenda. I told y'all last week, and I've been telling you before, that Meghan and Harry have signed up to this UN agenda, this WEF, World Economic Forum agenda. They're being paid and funded by that group of people, not by Spotify and Netflix. The money's flowing through Spotify and Netflix, but it's actually coming from above. They're being hired and they're being supported and funded and eating out of the hands of these people, and their job is to ruin the royal family. That is all that Harry and Meghan has to do.
I'm Paul Polman, the Unilever CEO, and welcome to the World Economic Forum 2017, especially the One Young World Leaders. In 2015, the world signed both the SDGs as well as the COP21 agreements, irreversibly eradicating poverty and getting rid of the devastating effects of climate change. The young population, especially in the emerging market, is 50% of the population today and 100% tomorrow. We simply need you. Make your voices heard. Actively participate in the political process. Put your spending behind responsible companies. And yes, last but not least, live what you preach and put yourself to the service of others. Thanks for being here. We are already 15% on the runway on the SDGs. The engines haven't started to be louder yet. We now need to get going. Thank you very much.
My husband has long advocated for important and necessary impact in the world, focusing a huge part of his life's work on the youth. So for both of us, bearing witness to the power that you hold in your hands and the unbridled enthusiasm and energy that you have to see things come to fruition, it is just an absolute privilege. I'm incredibly humbled to not just stand before each of you, but to stand beside you. We often hear people say the time is now, but I'm going to double down on that by saying your time is now. The important work can't wait for tomorrow. And this week, the world is watching as you cement your place in history by showcasing the good that you are doing today, in the present moment, as we embrace the moment of now to create a better tomorrow. And with that, it is my absolute honor and pleasure to declare this year's One Young World Summit officially open.
That's all they have to do. And if they keep doing that, they're going to get awards, they're going to get money, they're going to get projects, they're going to get all that. It's more about, do they really need the money? They don't need the money really, truly. They're not poor. But they want the power and the influence that comes with it. Okay? We're being played, people. The leaks are coming from within the Sussex organization. Now, someone said this morning on the media that some of the questions that Tom, because his teaser has been expanded upon for his interview, and he asked a question about Harry, something to the effect, Harry, how could you do this to your brother? And then Harry responded, well, they've been leaking. Okay, that's not a more detailed pushback question. What that was we already know, because Neil Sean has told us, is that they have only going to respond to people who are going to be friendly to them, friendly interviews. And two, the questions are already pre-written. So you can ask the question any way you want to, but if it was pre-written and they've already seen all the questions, they practice on how to respond to them. And his agenda is to keep saying it was leaked, it was leaked, it was leaked. Everything was leaked. They were treated unfairly. Everything was leaked. There's someone who's come out, and I think the body language guy spoke about it and said that this lady on Twitter wrote a list of things that the British royal family has done to help Harry. Because Harry's saying that the British royal family never wanted to put out a comment or a statement to help him and Meghan. And I'll tell you just from what y'all already probably know, the very first one was when Harry put Buckingham Palace put out the statement, or Kensington Palace, I don't know which one it was. They said that stop harassing Meghan because she's dating Harry, and please leave her alone. And that was at the issuance of Harry pressuring his family to do that when they were dating. So how can he sit there and say the royal family has never put a statement out to protect him and Meghan? And then on top of that, we hear that the real reason why the statement was pushed out technically was because Meghan told Harry that if he didn't let people know that they were dating, she was going to leave him. That was in the news. That was part of the bullying case and all that stuff, that Meghan bullies Harry as well. Okay, so that was the real reason. Meghan wanted everybody to know she was dating Harry because Meghan wants that attention. She needed Harry to confirm in the public arena that they were dating. And so he pressures the royal family to put out a thing that says because she's being harassed, which is not true. It's all about Meghan and her manipulation. But I believe, I'm going to tell you again, it's not Meghan only. There is a group of people who are coordinating this attack. The media's falling for it, and I listen to the media and they say, oh, well, what does Harry really want? I'll tell you what Harry really wants. He wants the money. He wants the influence. And most importantly, he wants to keep his wife, who wants more than that, who wants power. That's what he wants. And so he will assign and align himself with anybody who can give him that, who can keep his wife, and his wife will do anything to get what she wants. And manipulating Harry. I told you also in the reading the other day that the outcome of this year for 2023 for Harry and Meghan is going to be that they're going to stay together. They're not going to get a divorce. I'll put it that way. They're not going to get a divorce. Whatever the union is between them, they're not going to get a divorce. But there's going to be a lot of pain and rejection and hurt and anger and repressed in their bodies. You're going to see a change in their bodies. Harry is so angry at his family. And I believe it's not just because of how his mother died. I think that's a very important thing he believes, because he probably was reading the stories like everybody else, that there was a conspiracy against his mother. All right? He was mad because his father married Camilla. Maybe if Camilla and Charles continued to date and never got married, he'd probably been okay with it. But he got married to her and took his mother, in his mind, his mother's place. Okay? Also, there's an issue with who was his father. Did the royal family come out and say, no, we 100% say this is Harry, is Charles' son? No. Now, his mother said it on the interview with Martin Bashir, that, you know, she kind of alluded to it, that it was not. But then the guy, now I forget his name, the father, the one that's redhead, the one that Dinah was dating that Harry looks a lot like, he did an interview years ago, and he never just said it wasn't his son. He just let it hang like, okay, he don't know.
His fondness for the princes is deep and genuine. And that brings us to the one question everyone else in the world wants him to answer. They share a striking similarity in looks. So let's find out. Is James Hewitt the father of Prince Harry? There's one thing I have to ask you that you're not going to like, but do you think that you are do you think that you will ever manage to convince people that you are not Prince Harry's father?
I don't know.
Because it's a...
You're going to persist on this, aren't you?
Well, it's just such a hard thing to put to rest, isn't it?
I've been trying to put to rest all sorts of things. And, you know, some ways have been right and some ways have been wrong.
So maybe he's mad about that because people think that's not his father. And then on the third thing is maybe because he's not the next one in line for the royal family to be king. He could be mad. That's a third thing. But he also has just anger issues. I really believe he already had issues before, and all these things has made it worse. He was a wild child, and he was getting love for being the wild child. Remember, everybody was like loving Harry because he was so authentic, and he was so himself, and he wasn't so acting so stuck up. Well, when you keep condoning that type of behavior with things he was doing because he's a wild child, and y'all just love a wild child, and Harry and William was just a stiff one, this is what you get. Out of control child. He is immature. He's being manipulated, and he has a vendetta. And his vendetta is to ruin his family at the behest of his wife, who's leading the charge. She's got his mind wrapped up that this is what he has to do. He already probably was feeling that, and she just came along and just pushed him in the direction she needed to push him, because people knew how Harry felt. There's people who know and knew who Harry was and how Harry felt about certain things, and they put these two together, and now they've got dynamite. And the thing about Harry saying that the palace's don't explain, don't complain policy is just a motto. No, he knows it works. He knows they're not going to say anything. He knows they're not going to answer back. He knows William is not going to answer back directly. So he says, oh, but they do leaks. They plant the stories. And they answer that way. The reason why he's doing this mess is as he knows from the inside that they don't explain or complain, not externally. He knows that. That's why he can do this. That's why he thinks he could. They know, and the people he's working with know they're not going to divulge any information publicly. They're not going to talk. They're not going to complain outward. He knows it, so he can keep spewing this mess. And nobody's going to, on the other side, come out and say, this is our point of view, this is our perspective, this is what happened from our side. He knows that. He just puts the digs in his family all the time. And you can't trust a person like that, y'all. You cannot trust a person like that. He is showing you every reason why you can't trust him. If you're going to do this to your family, what would you do to other people? And Meghan too. You can't trust them. Nothing they say, none of their actions. So I'm asking y'all not to buy the book. Go to the bookstores and read it if you have to read it. Or listen to people do the summaries on YouTube or any of the other platforms where they're actually giving you excerpts from it. This is the biggest bull crap I've ever seen, right? And we're buying into it. I know I'm talking about it, but I'm just trying to get y'all to understand when you're being played. We're being played, y'all. There is an agenda. They're a small piece of the agenda, but they are a potent piece because it's breaking down the British royal family. It's breaking down the British royal people. It's dividing them. It's hurting them, or at least turning against them. You know what I'm saying? But we've got to be strong. And we got to know what's happening. And we've got to fight this. No way you can fight it is stop buying into it, stop buying the book. You can put out the message that retweet and repost and share things that you believe that help forward our movement, that this is an agenda. Because there's many more agendas we got to fight. This is one. There's stuff happening in America. There's stuff happening all over the world that's breaking down constructs of of our beliefs so that they can take over. The WEF can take over. The UN can take over. And then I just heard today also that Harry's about to speak in front of the UN and talk about poverty. I keep telling y'all this. He is part of the UN agenda. Why do you think Meghan and Harry have been in front of the UN so many times? They don't have positions. They have fake titles. I'm calling them fake titles because they're no longer part of the royal family. So what is it that they're giving to the UN? What is the UN getting from them? Think about it. What? It's not just eyes on TV. There is a movement. The WEF keeps saying you will own nothing and you will love it or like it or whatever it is. They mean it, and they're going to make it happen. And they're going to break every ties that they can with your thought and your beliefs of what's right and what's wrong. And we're allowing these two little snippling leechers to lead the way. And the media is on board. A lot of them, I'm not saying every one of them, a lot of them are. What do they want? That's what they want. And it's a coordinated attack on different levels. Different industries are being attacked. Different organizations are being attacked. Different leaders are being attacked because this is what they want. It's not going to happen in a day. But they're telling you. The WF have told you. They're not hiding it from you. Now you got to just say, well, how was Meghan and Harry tied to the WEF? Young world leaders, which Meghan is an ambassador for, and spoke at this 2020 in last year of 2022. She told you how she got aboard with that particular organization. That is who they're tied to, the young world leaders. What y'all gonna do? You gonna keep just tweeting about stuff, or y'all gonna start taking action? And that's me taking action, like stop buying into it. Put out information that's true, factual information about what this game is really about. Alert other people. It's not a racist issue. This is not a racist issue. This is an agenda. And you have a guy who has a bad temper and a vendetta against his family, who's being manipulated by his wife to carry it out. He has no cares about his family right now. He has put all of his emotions, all of his compassion, all of his interest into keeping Meghan. And in doing that, he gets to have the vendetta against his family he's always wanted. All that therapy crap, he did not engage in. He did it just to show you that he was doing it. But it's not helped. And I'm sure he got help in counseling when he was younger. He even said his brother told him it was instrumental in him getting help when he was younger. Harry has mental issues, emotional and mental issues, per his own mouth. So don't take it out of context. And it's been with him for a very long time. And we're helping this person who's disturbed get away with enacting a vendetta against his family. Stop buying into it. Don't buy the book. Stop watching the channels that promote them. Stop watching Netflix. Stop listening to Spotify. Because the more we want to just listen to it, the more they get viewerships. The more they get viewerships, the more they're going to be used by the WF and the UN. And you got the Mandela family coming out saying that they don't appreciate what they're doing either. They see right through it. If they can see it, why can't y'all? You have to put it out there. This is wrong. They're using two people's legacy, as his granddaughter said, Diana's and her grandfather's, Nelson Mandela, to make money. And not just to make money, but to have a vendetta and get through to promote a vendetta and an agenda. The leakers have leaked the book. Okay? The leakers have leaked the book to get you all to watch that interview and to get you all on the world platform again, so they can also get more people to watch him at the UN when he does his delivery about poverty. Harry, that is. If that's the truth, that's really going to happen, because I heard it this morning. So that, this is all about leading them out, getting them more on bigger platforms, to get them out there, so they give credence to them, to influence people, and they don't even know what they're being influenced to do. Give up your autonomy, among other things. So that's my short rant for the day. It's not really rant, people, because it's truth. I only give you what I know and what I can see and what I've been preaching about for a very long time now. I mean, if you go back into my videos, especially starting in 2020, after the COVID started and we were on lockdowns, I started talking about this stuff. There is things going on. I don't know everything. I learned about the UN agenda back in the late 90s when I was in college. And these things are happening now. And they make it look good, like we're for poverty, we're for racial justice, we're for, saving the trees and cleaner air. But all that stuff they're doing is taking our autonomy away from us and telling us how and when we can do stuff and when we can't do stuff, where we can live. Eventually, they're saying our footprints, our carbon footprints are too big, and we need to live in small, tiny little houses with tiny windows. You don't need a car. You're not gonna be able to afford a car. And if you do afford a car, if you are able to afford a car, you can have a luxury tax on it. We don't need a lot of people because we can do AI. We can use AI to do the work. I mean, there is a huge agenda going on, people, behind the doors, closed doors, but they've told you about it. But y'all need to get off. Harry and Meghan are just very polarizing, and they're using them because they're so polarizing, and they're willing to do this for money, power, and influence. I'm not going to watch the interviews, people. I'm going to look at what people put on the internet about it, and then we can talk about that, the outcome of it. But the book, don't buy it. I ask you, please do not buy it. You're buying into your own downfall, and you're playing into their games. There's nothing in that book that's going to help you. There's nothing in that book that's going to help you. But it's definitely going to hurt you in society, because it's just a part of a plan and a plot. And you don't see the dots, I'm sorry, but they're there. All right, y'all have a great day. Blessings.